Hey Pisces, Amanda here. Welcome to Unseen Hands Healing. This is going to be your shift reading for the month of October. So we're looking at the shift from Virgo season into Libra season. We're looking at how we are relating to others, quite possibly romantically, as Libra is often focused on Venus type issues, love and money, connection with others. We're also looking at truth. We're looking at balance. Finding the balance, finding the harmony. So this is applicable to you because in the visualization that came through as I was calling in your energy, I saw a metronome type ticking back and forth, which is an image I often see. So I asked for something more specific and I got a butterfly perched on a flower with its wings opening and closing. You know how they kind of lightly open their wings and close them. Sometimes they keep them closed for a bit and move and then open, close, open, close. So that's what I was seeing, and it related to the metronome, this vacillation back and forth. The first thing I heard was something about timing. You know, the metronome is keeping time. There's something about timing, but there's also this shape that the metronome is making, going from either wing to wing, which is the same shape as the butterfly opening. And there was this energy of separate and together, separate and together. There's also energy in that of perhaps, you know, this is very Two of Swords, what I'm talking about. And Two of Swords is Libra moon in Libra. Two of Swords is this energy of like mental vacillation between, well, it could be this or that, and I'm just not sure, and I'm having a hard time making a decision or seeing a way forward, and I'm feeling kind of stuck in this energy. And so that felt like the opening of the wings. And then the closing of the wings is like coming into union with self and others, coming into oneness, coming into harmony, centered. So there was also something with this about, you know, if this is resonating with you a bit and you have been in this mental vacillation, and it doesn't feel good to be in that energy, okay? I have a Libra moon, I know. It doesn't feel good to be in this indecision, having a hard time moving forward because you can see the truth in all things and you're just like desperately hoping for the one truth that will help move you forward. And so there's something about that vacillation, that Two of Swords energy actually being instrumental to your transformation as a butterfly, because butterfly is all about transformation. You transform from a land creature, the caterpillar, into a creature of the air with the butterfly, someone who now has wings to fly. And so even if you've been in this Two of Swords energy and it's felt really crappy, that has been a thing that is instrumental to your transformation, to your ability to now have wings to take off and fly. But it is interesting that the butterfly was not flying. The butterfly was perched on a flower, not yet in flight. So let's see how this applies for you Pisces here in Libra season, this Two of Swords energy. We're using the Spolia Tarot. I've already thoroughly shuffled the cards, but we'll give it another shuffle so that we can see what's coming through for Pisces here in October. So I'm using my shift spread that I like to use, which is the shape that you are shifting, the shape that you're in now and the shape that you are shifting into. So shape you're shifting out of, shape you're shifting into, and the steps along the way, what that shift actually looks like and feels like. So we're starting first with the shape that Pisces is shifting out of now as we move into Libra season. Okay, we get the Nine of Wands. So the Nine of Wands is all you can see here. See that person? I hope you can see the detail here. Their arm is in a sling. They're tired. You know, they've been enduring a lot of perhaps external, internal, both energy that is exhausting, that is just, you know, making you feel run down, making you feel like maybe you're at the end of your rope here. Like, all right, I'm up to about here with this energy and I can't really take much more of this. However, it's resonating in your life. I can't take much more of this. Something's got to give. Something's got to break. I need a rest. I need the energy to shift. Okay. And this person is also behind a lot of fences and stone walls. There's like a fortress, a castle in the background. Really blocked off. Perhaps needing to block off because they're feeling so exhausted. So there's something here, Pisces, and you know, Virgo is your opposite sign. We're moving out of Virgo season. So perhaps Virgo season has left you feeling a bit exhausted, you know, all of that motivation to get building what you want to build out in the world, to really work on what you're trying to work on or trying to create. Perhaps an extra attention to the details has just left you feeling pretty exhausted. All right, so that's the shape you're shifting out of, which is pretty good. That looks like a relief. What shape are you shifting into now, Pisces? That was fast. All right. So this is a bit of the energy that I was feeling with that meditation. Energy of mental fog, of not knowing which way to move forward, because the Seven of Cups is having a lot of options, as you can see here. Well, this option looks good. This option is interesting. Well, I gotta watch out for that one, but I really want this flower to grow. And what about this? And I can't forget about this down here. You know, it's that sort of thing of having a lot on your plate emotionally. Working very hard emotionally in the realm of the heart to know which way is forward, which cup is the one to invest your energy in now. And perhaps whatever this is, it's a looming energy, Pisces. It's an energy of like this thing is looming and it's overwhelming. See the fog in the background? It's starting to clear. There's like whispers of clear skies down here, but for the majority, it's just fog. It's like your world is turned upside down. This is an interesting thing I've noticed in this card recently, that if you turn the card upside down and just focus on the background, what you actually see is a mountain range here, cliffs, and water. See that? That's kind of cool. So perhaps there could be, you know, cliffs, water. I feel things like jumping off the cliff into the unknown, or jumping off the cliff into the emotional unknown, which is the water. Perhaps that's what's looming sort of in reverse or upside down in the background. But what is really in the foreground of your emotional thoughts is like all of the different routes to take to get to that leap of faith, to get to that choice. I don't know. Let's get some more details about this. So now we know the shape you're shifting out of, the shape you're shifting into. Having a lot of options. So here's the good thing about this. It doesn't seem that positive, but I think it is in some sense. I don't think it's going to necessarily feel super easy, but what we're looking at is someone that is behind a lot of blockages because they're freaking exhausted, feeling kind of beat up by life, and really needing things to shift. And then suddenly it's like a lot of different paths open up. The blockages are removed is what I'm seeing, and now there are ways forward. It's just you're not sure which one to take. Okay? There are ways forward, you know, as we move into Libra season, or perhaps towards the end of October. By the end of October, this has opened up for you, and you're no longer in this emotional, physical space. But now you've got so many options, you're not sure which to choose. So let's see what that shift looks like. What is the road from the Nine of Wands to the Seven of Cups for Pisces here in Libra season? Four of Swords. Knight of Swords. Yeah, this is making sense. Let's see if we can get another one. Okay, the Hermit. Thank you, that's very clear. Here's what we're looking at. Four of Swords, Knight of Swords, the Hermit. So starting off with the Four of Swords here, this makes sense. If you've been in the Nine of Wands energy, which was mental, emotional, maybe even physical exhaustion, you're going to need to rest. See that? This person is just tanked. They need to sleep it off. This particular Four of Swords doesn't look like the most restful sleep to me, because we've got these three swords looming above this person's head and one in the bed with them. That doesn't seem like the most restful kind of sleep if we've got this stuff looming, which is interesting because I felt looming energy here as well, like this big fog, this big cloud, almost like barring the way forward. And with this metronome energy, that is a sort of looming, in the sense like I know I have to make this decision. I know there has to be this way forward, but I really just feel like I don't have the full picture, and I don't know how to move forward. So even if you're resting physically, mentally, all this is still sort of looming, still going. You know, I can't ignore the fact that the Three of Swords is what's looming, and in the tarot, the Three of Swords talks about pain, you know, emotional pain, mental pain, really going through perhaps a feeling of like hurts, you know, your heart's been hurt in some way. And the Nine of Wands, this person is hurting. This person has their arm in a sling, and they're exhausted from some sort of situation. Either they're trying not to hurt someone else, or they are being hurt. And either way, it's like when you're trying not to hurt someone else, that's a painful position to be in, and an exhausting one as well. So that's really what we're looking at. You know, in order for you to find the way forward, even though all of this is still occupying, looming on your mind, you've got to rest. You've got to rest. This is interesting too. There's something about when you rest, the space opens up. The space that you are desiring, that you need in order to move forward, or in order to clear your energy, or whatever this is, the space opens up when you rest. Very important here, Pisces. And you know you're Pisces. I think you probably need to dream about it. You need to drop into that unconscious, intuitive realm. And it's going to then, I think, burst forth, because then we've got the Knight of Swords. if it'll focus. So the Knight of Swords charges forth with mental clarity. Oh my gosh, wow, I didn't even realize. So I felt that this was a cloud of smoke or fog, something blocking your way. I felt that this was also something looming over you. And now look, we've got this tornado cloud looming, blocking the way. And what's beautiful about this particular Knight of Swords is that this person has the sword of truth, clarity, and they're charging forward. Knights are forward movement. They are a type of movement, and the quality of movement in the Knight of Swords, as you can see, is fast. It's fast and pointed, sharp, decisive, coming in with the truth, with some newfound clarity, perhaps after getting a little rest. Suddenly you awaken with the clarity of this sword to come forward now and use it to cut through the illusion of this blockage. Or perhaps the illusion, you know, it doesn't have to be an illusion, but it could be because this seems like it looks real, but then you slash it and realize it's only canvas. You know? That could be true, but it could be that there is some like real pain. You know, tornado here, the storms of life. There could be like real storms going on here that just have you really, really exhausted, and there's some pain and painful heart situations looming, and you just really need to take a rest so that then you can come at them with clarity, focus, precision in order to cut through this storm, to battle that storm energy. Okay. It's sort of like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, you know, the tornado's coming, she gets knocked out, and while she's unconscious, her unconscious is able to take her on this, you know, while she's unconscious. Her subconscious is able to take her on this whole journey through the land of Oz. It's like in the background here, the tornado is still going. That's what's going on. And meanwhile, Dorothy is going through Oz and picking up all of these bits of information, details about herself, learning about herself and others through this unconscious journey. Gosh, Pisces, your readings are always like this. Going through this unconscious journey and then waking up to realize the truth. Oh my gosh, it was a tornado that knocked me out. And having this newfound truth now, and cutting through the BS here. And then we're in Hermit energy. I love this card. And I'm glad this camera is detailed enough now to pick it up for you all. This is like, you know, this is the monk's solo journey up the mountain. You can almost feel the energy as the upward, you know, the monk's face is turned upward, gazing upward, seeking. What's this in their hand that is something important for you? Oh my gosh. I don't think I've ever noticed this before, and I hope you can see this. I always thought it was like an urn or something, and I guess it kind of is in a way, but it's actually coming through as, gosh, this camera's good, but I hope you can see this. The focus on the brown, not so much the gold thing, but the brown, if you look very closely, there are eye holes. It's a skull. I'm not sure you're seeing that. I hope so. It's a skull facing towards the hermit. Like the eyes are here and the mouth is closer to their chest. See it? Anyway, I'm seeing it clear as day, and it's kind of insane. That's what you're holding. You're holding a skull. The bones of something past. The bones, skull, bones that you've collected. Urn. I did feel it was an urn, so it's like you're taking the ashes of the dead, the ashes of, this could be literal for someone, but it could just be like more the ashes of this past situation, whatever happened here in Virgo season, and perhaps even further back. Taking the ashes of this spring and summer limbo that we have all been in collectively, and now powerfully charging forward with the truth. And now that the thing is but a skull, but a skeleton, you know, you just have the remains of it, and you're carrying them with you up this mountain, seeking higher. Again, very internal solo journey, going deep within. Perhaps, you know, and here we do have in this spread, the Hermit is looking up, gazing up at all of these ways forward, of all of these different options here, emotional options, the ways up the mountain. I felt with the Nine of Wands that then the path, all the fences are down, the path forward is cleared. And suddenly it's like all of this opens up before you. I also can't get through this reading without talking about the fact that often in the Nine of Cups, we're looking at fantasy, we're looking at illusion. And Pisces is a sign. That's your shit I'm talking about. Fantasy and illusion, which makes you a brilliant artist and an incredibly creative imagination, a poet, a romantic. But Pisces, it can sometimes block your way. That projection that you create, it's like you look, for example, romantically, you look at someone, just because it's the most obvious example, but it could be a job opportunity, whatever, it doesn't matter. You look at somebody and you project all of your fantasies and ideals onto them. And it makes it hard to really see the truth. It makes it hard to see them as a human, as a flesh and blood person. And I think now what I'm getting is like the way for you to move forward internally is to look very clearly at that. To look very clearly at anything, any habits of fantasy projection and projecting ideals onto things and onto people. You know, it's like what stories we create before we've had enough time to before we've allowed enough time to pass for things to unfold organically, slowly, to allow the truth to emerge rather than project the truth onto people, jobs, things, places. So, you know, I gotta be honest, right at this, you know, we're starting and ending the reading with a bit of nebulous energy. This is the shift from the Nine of Wands to the Seven of Cups. It's like maybe by the end of Libra season, things have opened up a bit, but you're still sort of sussing through your options of what is real and what is fantasy and what is a concrete, tangible way forward and what is not. What is past, what is present, you know? So perhaps by the end of October, you know, Pisces, we're still in this sort of nebulous, I'm not sure feeling of overwhelmed of which way to go forward, but something opens up here. After a rest period, something opens up with this Knight of Swords. Either information, either you charging forth with some clarity to cut through some of this fog, or some other information from outside of you, someone else coming in with some information that helps you cut the fog, cut the confusion. I don't know, but I really am interested to find out. So I'm gonna keep pulling cards, Pisces, in an extended reading. But before you go, for those of you that this is really, really resonating and you want to dive deeper, you can join me in that extended over at Patreon. I'll talk more about that here. But for those of you that aren't going to join me in the extended, I still want to give you an oracle card. This is the postcards from the liminal space. And I think that's extra important for you, Pisces, because 9 of Wands to 7 of Cups, that shift still leaves you in a bit of a liminal space. So let's see, what's the advice here for Pisces, or extra information for Pisces in October as part of this shape shift here for Pisces? Okay. You got, not my monkeys, not my circus. This seems very, very, very related. Actually, this is really illuminating. I'm really glad that we did this. This feels so, so related to whatever this pain is that you've been putting up with and enduring for perhaps too long. Maybe it's because this is not your drama, Pisces. Maybe this is a call to exit the drama by just resting now. It's like, take yourself out of it and rest, because this is not even your drama, and maybe that's what you realize, and come in like the Knight of Swords, cutting through the bullshit, coming in with the truth, with the clarity, and saying, sorry y'all, not my monkeys, not my circus, I'm not interested. And then that opens up your world. That opens up your internal world to come through and set that boundary like that, to come through with the truth and actually take action on it. Knight of Swords takes action, to take decisive action, to say, this is not my drama and I'm not doing it. That's huge. That's a really bold move, and I think a really good one, because it puts you in this internal space with yourself where now you have the space. That's what I felt earlier. You needed space. Now you have the space to move forward at your pace. And each step of the way will allow you, equip you, that slow movement will equip you with the ability to then suss out what is real. Isn't that what I said before, that the pace with things needs to unfold organically, which often means a little slower than we like to go, in order for the whole truth to really become clear and be revealed. We learn who people are over time and slow movement. We learn who we are, because this is a card about very much learning about the self. We learn who we are revealed slowly over time. Slowly, one by one, these cups all start coming into focus and the air begins to clear. Okay, so that's where I'm going to leave you here, Pisces, for your shift reading in October into Libra season. I'm going to keep pulling cards and figure out, what is this? What's this circus? What's this drama going on? And how you can best move forward. We never shift from point A to point B. There's always then a C, D, E, F, whatever. So I want to find out, what's the next shift? Where do we go next? What's happening here? And get some more clarity. So if you're interested in that, in order to view the extendeds for these monthly shift readings, you can go over onto my Patreon and become a monthly contributor for as little as $11.11 a month. That gives you access to the extended reading for your sun seems seems to me what is blocking your way forward right now is some sort of drama. You know, not my monkeys, not my circus is definitely a card about drama, clearly. But here we have Ace of Wands, Queen of Wands, which is also kind of drama filled. It's like, you know, if the Queen of Wands is you or someone in your life, a friend, a partner, a colleague, this person definitely does bring the drama. You know, the Queen of Wands, this fire energy, you know, they're bringing the heat. Clearly. This could be creatively, all right? Could be a relationship for sure. But whatever it is, it's like they're coming through as this like comet.